Amber, I need to talk to you. Amber, don't tell me you haven't woken up yet. How long are you going to stay in bed?
Kendra, good morning. What is it so early in the morning?
Huh? What are you doing sleeping so late? Early in the morning? It's already past 6.
6 o'clock is early. Besides, I'm off work today.
What a lazy woman. Sleeping in just because you're off work? A wife usually gets up before the sun rises and does the housework.
I'm sorry, what era did people say before the sun rises?
Oh, are you trying to condescend to me saying I'm old-fashioned?
I'm not being condescending to you.
Anyway, now that you've married into this family, I won't allow you to sleep in, no matter how many days off you have.
I may be the wife of the family, but I'm not living with you. I'd rather you didn't interfere too much with my daily routine.
You're also cryptic. It's so annoying. Why did my son marry such a loser?
I usually get up at 6 a.m. to do the housework. But lately I've been so busy with wedding preparations, I've been so tired.
Oh yes, about that wedding. I'm going to ask you to cancel the ceremony after all.
Excuse me?
I'm telling you to cancel the wedding.
The ceremony is tomorrow.
So it's not too late, right?
No. I don't understand what you're saying. Why do I have to cancel the wedding all of a sudden?
Because I'm against the marriage.
Huh?
Our son doesn't deserve a woman like you. That's why I've decided to have you call off the wedding ceremony right now.
What are you talking about? When we went to your house to inform you about the wedding, you approved of our marriage. So I don't understand why you're against it now.
I just couldn't be honest about it in front of my husband and my son. My husband seemed to like you. If I was the only one to object, what would everyone say?
But if you had your own opinion, I wish you had expressed that then. Why are you against our marriage?
I'm telling you, he's my eldest son.
Yes?
Do you know what it's like to marry the eldest son?
Well,
the eldest son's wife should live with her in-laws and serve the family. You have no intention of quitting your job. You insist that you won't live with us.
It wasn't me who said we won't live together. It was Adrian, wasn't it?
At this point, it doesn't matter either way. You lured him away. You seduced him into not living with us, didn't you? Trying to make him leave his aging parents. What a cruel person.
No, that's not right. I didn't say we would never live with you. Adrian wanted us to cherish the time we have together as a couple. As long as the parents can take care of themselves, we would live separately and pay visits to you from time to time.
I dreamed of living with my son and his wife when he got married, and having a lively life with my grandchildren who would eventually be born, and the neighbors would look on with envy. But you ruined my dream. I still can't approve of this marriage. Let my son leave you at once. I'm going to find him a more obedient and proper wife.
You're going to marry your son off for your dream.
I'm sure he loves me, his mother, more than you. But he's just too shy to tell you the truth. I'm sure he really wants you to be a full-time housewife. And I'm sure he wants to live with us.
I think that's all your fantasy.
Huh?
I get it that you don't think much of me, but Adrian and I have already registered our marriage and we're already married. I can't cancel the wedding now just because of your selfishness.
My selfishness? Are you dismissing your mother-in-law's opinion as mere selfishness?
As for the difference between your view and mine, I hope we can come to a compromise through repeated discussions. Tomorrow is a once-in-a-lifetime big day. Could you just please accept it and be happy for us?
You're a brazen woman. Even after all this, you still want to hold the wedding? Even though you're putting me through so much anguish?
On the contrary, if we cancel the wedding now, it will cause trouble for the wedding hall and all the invited guests. I mean, you haven't said anything to Adrian about canceling the wedding, have you?
There's no way I could tell him. I don't want him to hate me.
So you don't care if I hate you?
Of course I don't mind. I don't like you, so it's mutual.
Oh God. Either way, Kendra, it's impossible to cancel the ceremony now. You'll have to give up and join us as a relative.
Well, you're a big shot. You just remember, I'll do everything in my power to make it impossible for you to hold the wedding.
What on earth are you planning?
That's for me to know and for you to find out. You'll be sorry you ever messed with me.
Adrian, is this a good time? I need to talk to you about something. Good morning, Amber. What's up? I just got a text from your mother.
From Mom?
Yeah, around 6 in the morning.
That early? Was it something so urgent she had to text you?
She told me to cancel the wedding tomorrow.
Huh? I don't get it.
I know, but your mother was against our marriage from the start. She doesn't want us to have the wedding.
I don't know why she said she was against it. When we went to greet her, she was smiling the whole time. She said she was happy that I got a cute bride. At least that's what I thought she said.
Apparently, her smile was fake.
I see.
It seems she pretended to go along with it in front of you and your father, but she really didn't want you to marry me.
I wonder what she's so worried about.
That I'll continue working after marriage, and that I won't live with my in-laws.
What's wrong with that?
She said it was her dream, that her son and his wife would live with her and she would be surrounded by her grandchildren. To be the envy of the neighbors.
Oh, she's as vain as ever. It's true that recently there's been a rush of grandchildren around my mother. There are a few people she knows who have started living with their son and his wife. Maybe she's convinced that living together with her son and daughter-in-law makes her a winner.
She also told me that the eldest son's wife should be devoted to the family.
That's a pretty outdated concept.
She hasn't said anything to you about the wedding?
Yeah, I've been staying with my parents since yesterday. They haven't said anything to me.
I see.
I'm sorry my mom's giving you such a hard time. She was always nice to you in front of me. I thought things were going well.
She doesn't want you or your father to hate her, but it seems she really doesn't like me.
We can't cancel the wedding no matter how much Mom objects. We'll just enjoy the ceremony, don't worry about her.
You know, your mother could be up to something on the day of the wedding.
What?
She says she's going to do everything she can to make sure we don't get married. I hope it's just a threat.
What's with that? What an immature parent. Don't tell me she's planning to storm out in the middle of the ceremony.
It's probably just all talk.
I get it. I'm going to talk to her and send her straight so she doesn't do anything at our wedding ceremony.
Yeah, I just don't want her to be in a bad mood and say she won't go to the wedding. I don't want to irritate her too much.
I understand. I'm sorry you had to get all stressed out the day before the wedding because of my mother.
Don't worry. I hope everything goes well tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Amber, today is finally the wedding day. I wonder if you're getting ready in the waiting room at this point. Since you insisted on holding the ceremony no matter what, I decided to give you a little surprise. What do you think it is? I mean, you've been so busy with the preparations, I don't think you'll have time to look at the message. You'll be so surprised when you come to the venue. This will certainly get the wedding shut down. You should know that if you disobey me, you're in for a heap of trouble.
Kendra, where are you? Kendra, please pick up the phone.
Oh, Amber, you seem to be in a panic. Did something shock you?
Kendra, I just heard from the staff at the wedding hall. The wedding cake at the venue is all messed up.
What? You didn't notice? The wedding hall staff saw it before you did? No, that's no fun.
So it was you after all. I heard that some guests witnessed someone who looked like you running away from the venue.
Yes, that's right. I did it.
But how could you?
Because I hate you. I kicked your wedding cake over.
Kicked it over? Taking it out on the cake is going way too far.
I told you yesterday, I'll do everything in my power to prevent you from having a wedding. You can't have a wedding ceremony with a wedding cake like that. Cutting the cake is the most important part of the ceremony.
You're a monster. Can't you imagine how sad the bride and the groom must be?
You can be as sad as you want. Compared to my grief at having my dreams stolen from me, I could care less about the cake.
The people at the ceremony worked so hard on the cake.
Well, if you want me to pay for it, I'll at least pay for the cake. I'm sure it's not much anyway.
Do you think you can just pay for it?
It's your fault for going against me and trying to force the ceremony in the first place. If you learn from this, give up on Adrian. The ceremony will be cancelled anyway. You can go ahead and file for divorce now, can't you?
Huh? The ceremony will go on as planned.
Huh? Even though the wedding cake got messed up?
That cake isn't mine.
Huh? That can't be true. I snuck into your reception hall and kicked the cake over.
You were in the wrong venue.
Wait a minute. The ceremony staff said that they found...
Another couple was supposed to have their ceremony at a different venue at the same time as us.
Huh?
Someone knocked over the wedding cake that was set up there. The staff asked me if I knew anything about it.
That's ridiculous.
Besides, there was no way the cake was set up at our venue. I ordered a fresh wedding cake from my favorite cake shop in the neighborhood.
What do you mean?
There's no way they can serve it at the venue even before the reception starts, right?
Is that right?
Of course not. So which cake town was an imitation cake prepared by the ceremony hall?
I didn't know.
But still, sneaking into a wedding hall without permission and kicking over a wedding cake? Kendra, you've done a terrible thing.
Wait a minute. It was your wedding I wanted to cancel.
I don't know if the couple whose cake was destroyed will continue with the ceremony after this. But anyway, please come back there as soon as possible and apologize to the couple and the ceremony hall for ruining the ceremony.
I don't know what to do. I didn't mean to do anything bad, okay?
You wouldn't have kicked over the wedding cake if you didn't have any bad intentions.
So, I thought that was your wedding cake.
Is it impossible that you could have made a mistake?
Anyway, I was so preoccupied with getting you guys to cancel the ceremony. I didn't even check whose reception venue it was.
I'm so dumbfounded.
That's right, Amber. It was an accident. Tell them that it was all just a big mistake.
Huh?
I didn't have any bad intentions. I just bumped into the cake and knocked it over. Then they'll forgive me, right? If they want me to pay for it, I'll just ask my husband to pay for it.
What are you talking about?
That's okay, isn't it? We're going to be a family now. It's only natural to help a family member in need, isn't it?
Don't act like we're family now. You were against me marrying Adrian, right? But now it's an emergency, so you'll allow me to marry him?
Please, Amber, if you could just play along, I can get out of this without having to take the blame.
That's impossible.
Huh?
Don't you know that there are security cameras installed in the ceremony hall? Don't even know that?
Security cameras?
All of your crimes are recorded. Even if I tried to help you, it would be of no use.
Oh no.
I'm heading to the venue now. If you're not coming back, we will continue without you.
Wait, Amber! Amber, I'm in trouble.
Kendra, you didn't come back to the wedding venue after all. Where did you go and what were you doing?
That's not important now. I want you to listen to me.
Huh?
My husband confronted me with divorce.
Well, I guess that was inevitable.
What part of it is inevitable? I'm not going back to being single at my age.
My father-in-law had a hard time yesterday. You never came back. He had to apologize to the wedding hall, the other bride and groom, and all the other families that were all put out. We managed to have a wedding too, but we had to go through a lot of trouble to clean up your mess.
But divorce is going way overboard, isn't it? Moreover, even my son Adrian said he'd cut ties with me. I've only been a housewife my whole life. I can't survive if I'm kicked out of the house alone.
Then why don't you work?
What?
I mean, I think you'll have to work.
Huh?
Compensation for damages to the ceremony hall and to the couple and everyone who you caused so much trouble. You're going to have to pay for all of that by yourself now.
What do you mean?
It's not a surprise, is it? You kicked over the wedding cake that was about to be used. You ruined the ceremonies, so it's a matter of course, isn't it? It seems that the other couple managed to hold their ceremonies somehow, but because she couldn't cut the cake like she was looking forward to doing, the bride was crying. And you ran away without even apologizing. You just tried to play it off as an accident. That's beyond scum.
Amber, please, convince my husband.
What's that?
I want you to talk him out of divorcing me. I'm really sorry about the cake. I can even go and apologize to that other couple right now. Anything but divorce.
I don't think that's going to happen. Your husband is extremely angry. And the other couple who were affected, they said they don't want to see the face of a person who would do such an insane thing. If you really feel bad about this, I think the only thing you can do is to pay exactly what you're charged.
Then Amber, lend me some money.
Huh?
If my husband divorces me, I won't be able to live on my own. It's absolutely impossible for me to pay the compensation. I'll work and pay you back for sure. Right? Please.
You made it clear you hated me. Don't try to rely on me now because you're in trouble.
Because my husband and son have abandoned me. The only one I can rely on is you, my daughter-in-law.
But since Adrian cut all ties with you, you and I have nothing to do with each other.
Don't be so cold.
Goodbye.
Amber!
Thus, my mother-in-law, who had been abandoned by her family and left all alone, started a living job to make a living. As for the damages and compensation for kicking over the wedding cake, she had to borrow money. My mother-in-law worked and worked, but most of her wages disappeared to pay off her debts. She lives in extreme poverty, eating only canned beans and franks every day. According to my father-in-law, my mother-in-law still says to him, "I'm sorry for what I did and I want you to give me a second chance." He still receives messages asking him to let her come home. I heard that my mother-in-law's outbursts are now the talk of the town. I think my mother-in-law is too embarrassed to go near my parents-in-law's house. As for me, I am enjoying my newlywed life with my husband, Adrian. We sometimes visit my father-in-law's house for dinner. We also go on trips together during long vacations, and my relationship with my father-in-law is good. 6 months after the wedding, I found out that I was expecting a baby. Together with my husband and father-in-law, we are looking forward to adding a new member to our family.